Hey, it's Bronwen. Hang on. My dirty. I just got off the phone. I was just talking to Mary Whitaker, and I feel pretty inspired. In fact, today's been quite the day of inspiration and breakthrough, and I've been struggling with this one thing for weeks now, and I finally feel like I actually leveled up on it. I'm pretty excited. So I'm just going to share a process that I went through today, and what I found. I knew that I was having some issues with scarcity. You know, if we're real, we all go through cycles of scarcity. Hey, and oh, William Boardman, welcome. How are you? And what I this is what I did today. I was feeling like numb. Have you ever felt just numb? Like maybe, like, for me, it's when I don't get around people enough, if I don't socialize enough, or if I don't do something that feels important often enough. I get to where I kind of feel numb. And then there were other things going on in my world with criticism and all this stuff. And so I was feeling pretty scarce in all the areas of my life, and that's where this breakthrough comes in. So today I gave myself a nap, and as I was laying there and just waking up from this nap and feeling kind of numb, I was like, I don't want to feel numb anymore. I like to feel that totally yummy, driven sense of purpose in every moment of my life. It's my favorite, and I generally don't have a hard time getting it. And so it's just been lately that this last few weeks that I've been working on this specific breakthrough where it feels like there's something so big in my way that I can't see the end of it. And so today, as I was waking up from this nap, I decided to, hey Jason, I decided to address this. I was feeling kind of, you know how you get to that breaking point? I was feeling kind of broken right then, and I was like, okay, I'm ready to surrender. The wind is blowing, and I'm sure you're hearing the wind. Sorry about the racket. But what I did was I decided to go into my visual. I'm a visionary, and I see little mind movies, which is really helpful to me. Hey, Stacy. So I decided that I was gonna just allow my mind to work for me. Hey, Sharon. And as I did that, I just said, okay, I'm going to get out of my own way and just surrender and figure out what this is. And I had walked somebody through a process this morning where we went into the fertile field of her subconscious mind and helped her dig up by the root this tree. And the thing that came to me was to just walk myself through that process too. So I did. I'm like, okay, let me see my fertile field. And the first thing I noticed in my mind was, you know how you just kind of get self-aware. I don't know about you, but I'm like super self-aware. And these symbolisms are meaningful to me, and so I examine them, and they're helpful and symbolic. But I was really far away, so far away above, like up in the sky, looking down on this fertile field of my subconscious mind, and I was like, okay, what do I see? What's growing there? And I saw this. In order to be able to see this giant tree, I had to be that far away. And I'm like, okay, so that's why I'm so far away. Okay, let's get close. And it kind of astonished me how giant this tree was. Like, the trunk was my house is about 5,000 square feet, and it's kind of a square, kind of boxy. It's 3 stories. But the base of the trunk of this tree was as wide as my house, and you know, looking at it from the front, and I'm like, this is huge. What is this tree? It's giant. And all over the tree was written scarcity, scarcity, scarcity. Not enough, not enough. Hey, Mary. And so, you know, I got kind of emotional. I'm like, have I grown this tree? Man, I'm very powerful. And I stood back and I looked at this tree, which at first I'm like, this is all the crap. This is all the crap in my life, and look how giant it is. And I realized that it hadn't been there all my life, This was something that I had, I had pulled up the scarcity of my life at one point. And not too long ago, I remember when I did it, and I can tell you when I planted this new tree. I'm not going to tell you because, that would be a longer story, but I know when I planted this new tree. Yeah. Hey, Jessica. And, hey, Angela. And so I planted, what I realized was, okay, here's this tree that's all the crap. And I stood back and I looked at it, and it was really beautiful. It wasn't like, hey, Miley, it wasn't like a ugly, dead, what you think scarcity should look like. It's like this beautiful, lush, fertile, amazing tree. So big and powerful. And what I got out of it was, not only am I very powerful at growing trees of this magnitude, but there is a very beautiful and powerful and lifelong lesson that I get to learn from this. And for me, that's very spiritual, and I'm going to share it. I went to get a shovel in my mind's eye so that I could do like what I had taught this woman when I walked her through this process this morning, and dig around wide enough to get all the little teeny roots and deep enough to get all the little teeny roots. But I went to pick up my shovel and I couldn't even pick up the shovel. It was too heavy. It was too heavy for me. So my trusted advocate is, my God. And I brought him onto the scene to help me. Whew, sorry. I'm feeling very emotional. Here we go. And I invited him to help me with a shovel. I still couldn't pick up the shovel. I had to hand him the shovel and step back and watch him do all that work for me, digging around this enormous crap tree that I had grown, that I had nourished, and that I was too weak to dig up by myself, and that I couldn't even do it. I had to stand back and watch. Hey, Francine. And I had to stand back and watch while somebody else did my work for me. And for me, that's about the worst. I like to get in there and roll up my sleeves and get her done. And so standing back to watch that, and in this visualization, it took a long time. Probably because I was resistant, but it took a long time. And even as I think about it right now, it's not over. In my mind's eye, I see that there's a pretty darn good ditch being dug all around, but I'm still not the one digging it. And so that's a little bit frustrating to me, and I have some things to move past. But this is about surrender for me. And with that surrender, I think that's the lesson. The words mooch are all over this tree. I've had a lot of people take care of me in my lifetime. I've had a lot of people buy my shoes for me. Hey, Angela, I give a lot. I give my time freely a lot. And the universal law says that comes back. And so a lot of people take care of me. I give a lot. And I get a lot, and it's a struggle for me to allow that myself to receive. So scarcity and being a mooch and all of these things are represented in this tree, and that the solution is surrender and receiving. So that's where I am. That's what I wanted to share. The tree is not dug up. I'm still in process, but I feel empowered. And I am sure that that tree is going to topple, and that I can burn it and fertilize my field and plant the seeds that I really want there. And because I know how fabulously powerful I am, that means I know just how grand the trees that I want to grow are going to be, which is awesome. And I love turning around and passing that along to other people, and I will. Hey, Robert. So, thank you for watching. That was really tender for me, and I hope that it helped somebody else. So, all right, I love you all so much. I'm so glad you're in my friends list, and I will talk to you later. Bye.